lost it a long time ago. I don't fail. I just get another opportunity to try again.
Otherwise, Thembisile, thank you very much for joining us on the first episode of ABC. The whole vision with this podcast is to meet with experts in their field. I know everybody doesn't want to be mentioned as an expert, but I believe that there's people who have more knowledge than other people, and the people that don't have knowledge would like to learn from the people who has knowledge. So this podcast is a very simple podcast where we are focusing on art, business, and culture, and we're looking at creating a network where people who doesn't know stuff can learn from people who know stuff. So I'm very proud to be with you today and sharing this moment with you. This is the first episode, and to have you on the first episode is very, very, I don't know what it does to my soul, but I just want to, because I know a lot about you. We've been working together for quite some time, but people don't know about you, and there's things that I feel like I'm assuming about you. I don't really know. So do you mind telling us who you really are?
I grew up in Tata, and it wasn't actually like a village. It's just a small town with a small township. But a lot was happening in that township, as small as it is. Yeah, so a lot was happening. I was influenced by a lot of things. There was a lot of art, culture, Spansula. Like, grew up seeing Spansula every day of my life, you know. My cousins were dancers. We had concerts. There was beauty contests.
From a young age?
Yeah, so I was exposed to arts, you know.
Wow, wow.
But I remember I wanted to do a lot. I wanted to do everything. Was it gymnastics? I wanted to do it. I was playing soccer. I was in the athletics. I wanted to do everything. This other time, a guy came from Cape Town. He wanted to start a breakdancing class, but my mom didn't allow me, or I was so hurt. I would have probably been a Sierra by now. I was like 7 or 8. Yeah, true. I wanted to become a dancer at some point, but my mom wouldn't allow it because the dances were at night.
Wow.
And also my mom didn't really understand arts, but she loved music.
That's
Funny enough, she's my inspiration for becoming a singer.
But I don't understand her, you know.
Yeah.
The perspective of that these dances happen at night.
But there's this thing about parents whereby you want to do something but your parent doesn't. This leads me to a question of, I want to ask you, from a very young age, did you know you want to be an artist? Aside, because in a young age you're exposed to, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a policeman. Did you know it from a very young age that you wanted to be an artist?
The only thing I remember, I wanted to be on Gem Alley. I wanted to be a contestant on Gem Alley. I wanted to be a presenter on Gem Alley. I didn't know how I was going to do both, but I wanted to do both. Because I remember, like, you know, kids used to play. And stuff like that. I wouldn't want to play that. I wanted to play TV shows. Hey guys, let's play Gem Alley. Hey guys, let's play Selima Tunes. You know? Yeah, I've always known that I wanted to be in show business in some kind of way, even before I knew that I can sing, but I usually sang. I remember my mom telling me a story where there was a really nasty song people were singing, and I was singing it very nicely, so she couldn't really stop me. She only waited for me to finish.
So, like, in your high school career, I'm gonna go to high school. Did you always know that you wanna take art as a profession, like from grade 8 until matric? Were you like, I'm studying here so that after school I'm going to be an artist?
Actually, OBE cramped my style, guys. Yeah, because I went to a school that was very, very focused on music. It's actually a school where Black Coffee went to.
Was it in Matadi?
In Tat. Yeah. So it was very music orientated. The choir was like winning competition. So when I went to that school, I knew that I wanted to be in that choir. I wanted to study music. They had music as a subject. And then we went there. The same time we came, they were like, OBE is here. Music is scrapped. It's now arts and culture.
What?
And the syllabus is like 10 marks of music. It incorporates everything. So the music classes were no longer. Yeah, bruh. The same year that I wanted to start doing music, like I think we did it for like 3 days, and then they were like, no.
How old were you at that time?
I was in the year 2000. I was 11 years old.
So from a very young age you were.
Yeah, I was in standard 5.
Wow. So from a very young age, there was times probably when you communicated with your mom that I want to be a singer. How did she take it initially?
Well, the music industry has never been popular to parents.
Word,
The show business, actually. So parents always want you to go into the regular, if I may say, or more academic careers, you know.
Word.
So honestly, I only went to school because I wanted to go to school very early.
Yeah.
And then when I was there, I was like, nah.
What? So that's very interesting because
I was interested in the extracurriculars mostly.
Word.
I like
So you know what subject, but then
no, but I was very smart actually.
For real.
Yeah, but I didn't like school. You know those smart kids who pass classes.
I can't. Good girl gone bad.
Yeah, especially when I went to standard 5, like that's where the whole thing started. Cause like I was 11, my friends were like full teenagers, like 14, 15, 13. You know,
so interesting.
So my friends are older, so I was forced to like grow up really fast. You know?
Word. So interesting. I'm so interested in the life of an artist because being an artist, you are an artist. I see, actually, let me just say there's 2 different types of artists for me. There's the artist who's called to his art but is not popular. He might be making money but not a lot of people know them. And there's an artist who is a celebrity, let me just say that, because they have fame and there's a certain life that those artists live that we assume, because when you're looking at TV, they all have cars. They all have everything. So I want to know from you.
What's the third one?
What's the third?
It's a 3. It's the third one.
Third what?
Yeah. Third. You said the 3 different.
Oh, I said 2. Sorry, I said 2. I said 2. I was saying, it's the popular one and the unpopular one. So for you getting into the industry, let me just make it clear, which part were you mostly in? Were you that artist who's always like, I'm still, or did art lead you to night in meeting guys? Because it does. You're a kid and now you're exposed, you're going to sing, but after the stage you meet guys, there's drugs, there's alcohol. So did you dine in that, or like, I want to get that?
You know what? My story of being an artist is actually really funny because at some point I had given up about music. For years I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. I know myself. I'm easily tempted. I don't have a lot of willpower, so I was like, nah, this is not for me, you know. And I just kind of like set it aside until I joined Twitter. So
like Twitter.
yeah. My music career started on Twitter, bro. What? Yeah, it started on Twitter. I joined Twitter not as an artist. My friend suggested that. You remember Dimpo, you met her?
Yeah.
She suggested that I should go to Twitter because she just got paid $300 for a promo. I was like, oh, you get money.
300. We're like, Ramaphosa.
That's funny thing again. I forgotten my previous Twitter account because I opened one like in 2012 and then I forgot the password. The email was the BlackBerry email, so I didn't have that access anymore. So I was like, okay, let me start a new one. Started a new one this year, 2018. Started a new account. It wasn't that big. I was just still learning the ropes, and I was like just commenting here and there, liking whatever, just seeing how things go, you know. And then one day in 2019, it was World AIDS Day, and I saw people posting about HIV, and I was like, okay, I do have followers. I had a really decent following. I think I was on like 20K followers then. And then I'm like, okay, like maybe I should tell my followers about my status, you know, just stingy. I don't know why that came to me, but it was World AIDS Day, so the timeline is full of inspirational stories. And then I just posted and I told my followers that I'm HIV positive. And the response was overwhelming because everybody was like, wow, we know you're authentic, but this is like top of the mountain authentic.
Wow.
We weren't expecting you to say this, and people started coming into my DMs. It just became a lot of things. One thing led to another, and I'm on live TV talking about
from the Twitter. So what you're trying to say is social media is that powerful in a way.
Social media is very powerful.
Wow. I like that about you.
And then I continued with that, and then I usually sing, when I'm doing my chores. So people will always comment, Thembi, why don't you go to idols? Little did they know, I tried to audition.
You know why you didn't win. So the question is, I feel like we're going a bit far. I want to take you back to you getting out of high school and going to college. Did you start college where you come from, or you came to Joburg for college?
Dude, my story is very long.
We have time. Just summarize it, but get in. We have time.
Okay.
Can I highlight? I think it would be interesting to sort of put it in a timeline. Okay, from when you were 11, when you were interested in music, like what happened from that journey to high school to college, and obviously getting here.
Okay. Okay, so Thembisile has always been interested in music. I've always loved music. I just wanted to be in the spotlight, so I joined this school choir for a bit, and then I got flu. I couldn't continue during the initial auditions of the choir. Like I got flu, so I couldn't go and audition.
Damn.
And then I couldn't get in the choir. So, and I was also short. I think like a lot of things affected my not getting into the choir. So I didn't get in, and I just moved on with my life for a bit, and then went to high school. Finally got a spot. Oh, actually, I visited my grandmother in the villages because we're staying in Kasi, and then we had to go and visit my grandmother from my father's side. We went and visited there, so obviously she would take us to church. It's not even the church that I grew up in. It's her church. So went there. No, it was like Methodist. It was silly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was Methodist, and one day, I don't know who heard my voice while everybody's singing, and then this woman was like, "You are joining the kids choir." I'm like, "Oh, okay." You're gonna be practicing, and there's a competition coming up. We definitely need you on the choir. And why aren't you like in the team, in the Rosette team? I'm like, I'm only visiting. They're like, no, but you're still gonna go into the competition anyways, right? So yeah, that's when I started singing. And then for the competition, we had to get help from a community choral choir, right? Yeah, because we needed stronger voices.
Okay.
Yeah, so they invited the community choir. The conductor of the community choir loved my voice, so I was just absorbed into the community choir. Yeah, my alto was like, so I was absorbed into the community choir, started singing for the community choir. We actually had a really powerful community choir, because even for school events, we would like all wear school uniforms and go and perform as a school, but we are a community choir, right?
You were in one school, everyone in the choir?
Almost everyone in the choir. So even the ones that are not in the school would wear the uniform and then just join, because it was
crazy day.
It was beautiful. Living in the villages is nice, and I ended up there because I was a trouble child, So my mom took me to the villages.
That's why you couldn't do music.
I got the chance to do what I love. I was staying away from drugs. I was staying away from anything negative. I didn't care for boys. The only boys that I knew were my brothers in the choir.
But what do you mean when you say you were troublesome?
Oh my word! Like guys, like we could like maybe this podcast needs to be 3 hours max.
Okay, give us like 1% of it.
Okay, like I was a rebellious child. I always stood up to authority. If you say don't go there, that's exactly where I'm going. If you say don't do that, that's exactly what I'm. Yeah, I'm a tourist. I'm a bull after all. So yeah, I was taken to the village, and then boom, my career, my music starts. Okay, we were winning competitions. Hey.
I feel like when you in the Lucigo kind of a thing, because you went home and then something great happened.
Yeah.
That was the costume that was supposed to happen. You go home.
And dude, that's so. I don't want to say fucked up, but that's so fucked up. I don't know if like it's a myth or something. Lento le ukuthi you draw my my car, and then we hear in Jones said you end up staying like 8 months to a year without going back home. And when things start crumbling down, you feel like I must go back home because the ancestors and stuff. So is it true? Otherwise, before we move on.
Yeah. You need maybe even one night in your home.
But think about it in a logical manner. Where your heart is, that's where your health is. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And that's where love is. And if you no longer receive that or feel that, you need to go reconnect. It's about the reconnection. You know, there's this connection.
I believe that your home is your shell, if I may say so, something that protects you from everything. You know, when you're home, even if you're coming from Joburg, you were struggling, you couldn't make that,
put the plate.
and then Magrisan, you will put a plate, like, then I walk on my nutrients. Like Josie, you just eat pap and meat, bro. Everything.
But like you Coco, they have it hard.
And I was telling you earlier, but you need more greens.
I told you. Damn it.
So you really, home feels like everything. Like last year, I was going through a lot. I went home, and when I came back, my whole perspective has changed.
I need to go home. Shit. You know that I'm trying to lead you to somewhere like a transition that I like about you. The transition from
me
rural
to
coming
to Jersey.
Coming to Jersey.
Okay. So, one thing led to another, and I had to go back to Ekas, and then obviously you fall back into your old ways, you know, and trouble with the parents. But fortunately, my mom, like, we moved to a new place, right? When we moved to Mount Frege now, where there's my home now. My home is Mount Frege. We moved from MCAT about, so Mount Frege, it's a small town, but also there, a lot is happening. It's a very small town. Everyone almost knows everyone, you know. So something happened, you know, GPV related. I don't want to get into that. That's not what the podcast is all about. So I felt like I needed to run away from home. So running away, I have this mindset. It was me and my friend on Montembego, and I had this thought, Yoguti, let's just run away to Josie and become stars. You know, we've always wanted to become stars. Fair school is whack, you know.
Yeah, how old was that, Joe?
We're 16, bro. I'm full 16. She's like 15.
Nigga, do you even know who you coming to with?
No, we didn't. But there was someone she knew. You know, there was someone she knew. We came to Joburg. We just ran away from home and we came to Joburg. And
like transport man.
First thing that we did, we pandered transport man. We pandered. A girl must pander, you know. So when we arrived in Joburg, first thing that we did, we were listening on the radio and we heard that Lion King was having auditions and they were casting. So I'm like, what? Lion King? We're definitely going to this auditions. We went there. This is 2005, by the way. We went there, baseline. Like, that's the first place that I saw in Joburg, like the most important. Like, even now, when I feel like I'm going through a lot, I go to Newtown and just
for real.
Yes, Newtown
was still, it was very nice. It was live. There was people playing, people painting. There were people painting. There was a lot of action going on. Even the park was still fresh. It was well maintained. That whole space was just very artsy.
There was the Market Theatre, Market Lab, there was the African Cultural Center, there was Saibono, the Bus Pantry, and all of those spaces.
Hey, you are Newtownians, man.
No, but it is because...
And as an artist in Joburg, if you went to Newtown, you immediately just felt at home.
In a way, we were able to network and, you know, meet new people.
That's when I was caught with the reality, because the moment we stepped in to at baseline, we're outside, we're queuing, registering, everything is fine. But obviously, you look at other people here and you're like, okay, I think I'm out of my depth. These people look like stars. I don't look anything like a star. But you know what? I'm Thembisile and I've got a voice. I'm going in. You know what? Okay.
What's late?
Yeah, we registered at Newtown. There's auditions. I'm like, we're going in. We went in. I remember the judges were Dumandlovu. I don't remember the other two people, but I remember him well because I was like, oh, Dumandlovu. like Tulani, this song, like Moyo Bola Lelo Jesu Ka. Moyo. So we're singing that. Everybody was singing that. And then they were like, okay, you're gonna get callbacks, but obviously we didn't. We didn't. We look like. Now that I think about it, I think we were looking like little street kids.
but now
we were clean.
Now they're gonna call you.
Yeah, right.
Good. Everett, I want to ask you something probably is related to this, but what is the biggest sacrifice that you have done for art?
For art, biggest sacrifice. Being myself.
So, did you sacrifice being yourself?
Well, I'm still learning. There's parts of me that I can't display as an artist. I'm a very opinionated person. I have very strong views on certain topics. And that tends to rub people a little off sometimes. So I'm a straight shooter. I say what I think. So as an artist, obviously you have to protect your brand. You can't just say anything. I'm not saying I've stayed away from that. It's something that is work in progress. You know, I'm still trying to learn and protect my brand as much as I can. You know, I didn't realize the amount of influence that I had. You know, I only realized it to the fact if I'm saying something really, really wrong, and then people are gonna react, and if I'm saying something that really, really makes sense, people still react. You know, so I'm like, why am I continuing being this person that I am? Because fact of the matter is, the society will not always accept who you are as a person, especially if you associate yourself with a certain art, or maybe if you associate yourself with being a well-known person, you know. So I think I did sacrifice that, and my free spirit. Obviously, I'm a very spontaneous person. Like, I can do whatever I want to do. If I want to get naked now, I can do that.
I know.
Yeah. so that's why I have a failed OnlyFans career that lasted like 2 weeks.
We're gonna get to that.
So it's something I would have done, but for art, I chose to sacrifice that, you know, like my free spirit. Sometimes being a free spirit can be dangerous for your image, you know, for your brand and for those around you, you know. In any way, I'm not disappointed in that. It's a worthy sacrifice. And I've also taken a vow that I'm quitting cigarettes now.
Today,
for my voice.
the last one who's quitting it.
I gave it to Mr. Paul right there.
Yo, wow. You know, I want to ask you a question related to the industry of artists. I've been working with artists for quite some time, and one of the greatest things I've seen is there's a great amount of talented people that are not making it. I don't know what's making it, but there is a great amount of people that's not making money. If making it, it's money. So what's your perspective about the art industry in relation to financial gains?
I feel like it's very simple, honestly. You don't even need the highest quality of equipment or whatever. You just need to work on your art. That's all. You don't, I can't say, you know what, I've been planning to start my YouTube channel, but I don't have a camera, I don't have a light. You've got natural light, you've got your phone.
I know
whatever
that,
phone
I know
natural
that
light
you
can
need
work
perfect
for you.
gear first.
Right. So with art, you can have the whole shebang, and then the content, but it's not there.
Word.
So as an artist, you just need to work. Like right now, I don't think I'm earning much on my music. I'm not earning. Most of my revenue comes from being a braiding artist, you know. So you just put out the work, and then one day that one song or that one chance is gonna come. You just work.
You know, I feel like as artists, there's a lot of artists that are extremely talented, but they are blocked by these insecurities of what will people say. Like you need to stand until you have the biggest lighting, until you have a big camera, because it's for the other person. Now, what if I shoot on this phone that doesn't have quality? So, in my perspective, I see a lot of insecurity. Have you been in that position where you know you have to do this to succeed, but there's a lot of insecurities that is blocking you?
Not me, bro. Nothing ever stopped me.
What?
Nothing. Because I went on Twitter. This girl from Mekasi. I see people posting pictures of themselves in restaurants. I see people posting pictures of themselves in nice places, wearing nice clothes, wearing makeup. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get that. So I might as well just post myself as I am.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like,
So dope, Joe.
when I'm drinking, I'm taking a picture of
Dude,
my
and I know how real you are, Joe. Wow. Joe, not a lot of people are like that. Joe.
If I'm gonna take a picture of me chilling with the guys.
You like sending your shoot up
You know, if in Nyawasha, I'm doing that, and I'm like, people love this.
Word.
People are like, oh, Tina, we were shy to post our real lives because, you know, it's social media is that front thingy and then the back thingy, you know.
Ooh, front end and back end. Yeah. Anyway, the back end and you fronting in the front.
You remember
end.
that picture with the apple, right?
Word.
So a lot of people were just amazed with that, and also people like around us, they were like, oh, but we know you, but but I know you from Twitter. Hey, do you know guys, this girl in E, stuff like that. I'm like, okay. People are just taking a liking to me for being myself and my strong opinions. They used to love them back then. I guess I was a small account and I was taking on the big accounts.
Yeah.
And then now I'm the big account and now I can't say
like that thing very cool, and I will look to you an underdog, and once you're there, like the
bro,
people
I
don't
rose
like
from Twitter like to most on Twitter. The big accounts are not gonna comment on your thing if you are like small accounts. They're not even gonna like your thing, your replies and stuff. Unless you like come up with a killer reply. I was killing it in the replies. I would come. I remember this one tweet that got me like 1,000 followers. They were talking about doggy style and how a woman should position. So I was explaining how it should be positioned, and then the reply went viral. I got like 1,500 followers in one day. You know, so I was like, oh, so I should be talking about nasty shit.
The biggest thing I've noticed is that on social media, you start your social media channel looking to promote your music. But once you start finding that, okay, that are popular, it's probably, let me just say, sexual things. When you're talking sexual talk, that's when you start getting followers. So what happens in that transition when you stop talking about music and you sacrifice talking about this? And do you often get in a time when you want to talk about music, but you're like, they won't reply. So let me just follow the trend or make a trend that's within these borders and end up not promoting your music to the great extent, but promoting the other side. I don't know if you understand.
For me, it was vice versa actually. I didn't start my account to promote my music. Remember when I started Twitter, I wasn't there for music. I was there to have followers, right? I was there to gain followers. Yeah. I wanted to gain followers. I was there to get followers. So the music thing came later on when I eventually got followers who truly like resonate with me, and I was resonating with them. It's people that are living the same life as I am living. You know what? Because I'll talk about everything. Hey, you know, stuff like that. So yeah. That was the thing. So even when I started talking about sexual content, or not even sexual content, anything, I'm a pretty, I don't want to say smart person. I'm a pretty clued up person about a lot of things. Wow. You know, I'm very curious. I've always been very curious. Even though I don't like school, but I love learning about things. You know, so I'm that person that I always tell people I went to the University of Life. By the way. You know, because I've learned whatever I know from the world.
That's so dope. You know, like I feel like everybody is on that perspective of fuck school. I just want to get why fuck school? Like, what's
No,
your
for me it was
reason?
not fuck school. It was like I tried to go back, right? Because I dropped out of high school, obviously.
Yeah.
And then at 26, I decided I'm going to college to supplement my matric, right? NQF level 4. It's like an equivalent of matric. You do that for 3 years. I went there, I did that, I passed that. Yeah. Yeah, I was doing IT. It was super awesome.
Wow.
7 subjects
IT.
a year. Yeah.
Wow.
So I went there. I got an internship immediately after completing my course because I was top of the class. I think there was only 8 people that passed that year on our class, the level 4. So all of us got like internships. We went to different places, and I went and I did the internship. They were not hiring on the IT, but the company was loving my personality. So when the receptionist was out on leave, they were hitting me up. Hey, don't you wanna hold? It does, because I wasn't hired in the company after the internship, but I was called because they were like, you'd be good for the reception. So I went back, and then I was reception, and then I got another department, chef. Look, so I was IT, reception, chef in the same company.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, like
In a space of 3 years.
So, like, this letters in the, like, it brings me to a question to ask. Do you think if you didn't like do the supplements, or let me just say, you being an artist not having matric, do you think does it affect your career?
No. What does matric have to do with with music and making money? Look at Casper Dude, Questa, who else? Like,
I mean,
there's
everybody,
a lot.
like,
There's a lot to mention.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that we can
Most of the
mention.
creatives, especially the melanins. I mean, look at Nasty Dog. He was still in high school.
I think really the educational system is caging us in a way.
Kind of.
It's a matter of relativity, though.
Yeah.
There's people that were meant to be academic. They don't stop. They just continue.
Yeah.
Then you get this doctorate and like, okay, I'm tired of engineering. Let me go into medicine. You know, there's people that are born for that. As much as there's arts who are born for the arts. You know. And I do understand that as an artist, though, you shouldn't be naive. As much as it's not a must for you to go to school, but I'm not saying people shouldn't go to school or people should go to school. Just do whatever the hell you want.
Do you think
if you want to go to school, go to school. If you don't want to go to school, don't go to school.
But you know, there's parents, obviously, and you're gonna be a parent. Will you allow your kid to? If your kid would be
if my kid says I don't want to go to school, I'm gonna ask
and
them, what do you want to do? You're 12.
Oh, wow.
What do you want to do?
I want to sing.
Okay, go to music school.
Dango.
Yeah, simple.
But it's not that simple, you know. In fact, it's like not
it
for
is.
us,
You know
for
why?
other people.
You know why it's different. Mina, I wish I grew up in an environment where I went to a music school, a drama school, maybe. I feel like I would have benefited a lot as an artist, and I feel like I would have conquered many milestones at an earlier age than now, because now I still have to start learning the basics of the breathing techniques of music. Something that I should have been taught a long time ago.
Wow. This brings me to like something coming to my mind. There's a lot of people who sacrifice their youth ages, like probably after matric, they went to college and did something they don't like so that they can get a job. And after maybe a person is like 80 years, then they want to start an art, and you find that they need to trace back now. They need to learn from their training vocals, and now you are like 20, 38. You want to be an artist, and you have to start all over. Like, I believe sometimes something like that.
I don't think it's starting over. I feel like it's finally doing what you were meant to do. I think like people should just do whatever the hell they want to do.
They must do
Yeah. If my kid comes to me and says, I want to be an engineer, why am I taking you to grade 10, 11, 12? When there's Amalo, N1, N2, N3, N4.
I think
and then you go to varsity.
I think for parents, it's being informed and not informed.
Yes,
because I reflect in myself personally. I would have went to the National School of Arts, right? But because moms and pops didn't have a clue what it is,
what it meant for you to be there,
right? And they're like, no, we don't even afford. They didn't even acquire, my brother. But
for real, like they were just like,
for the fact that it's National School of Art.
Like I know
That sounds like
missionally.
there, right?
Don't understand the quotation.
Yeah, so it then relies on you personally. Do you really want to do this? How much do you love it, right? Because I still went to a technical school in high school when I had already found my love, which was theater, which was fine art, right? And I go to a technical school, we have machines, we have engines, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I had to find myself within there. I had to see things in my perspective, you know. I did technical drawing because I'm like, this is closer to fine art.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And from then, because you've started doing it, it opens up other doors. I guess that's what you mean by saying, for the fact that you start doing it, it will grow in you, it will open up more doors.
That's so dope.
And I'm also thinking people shouldn't be afraid to do what they want to do. Like,
you know,
shouldn't.
Going to the question of people being afraid to do what they want to do, some people make the excuse of there's no resources. Like, I have a lot of lack. So I want to get in your perspective, what is your, let me just say, 3 biggest lacks that you know I'm lacking in this and this and this, and how are you dealing with it?
Oh my word. Time management. Time management. I've resorted into having alarms for that. I'm setting reminders. I even have a notebook now, like a physical notebook. Yeah, so I write a lot of stuff there so that I will know. Because usually I wake up in the morning and I forget I have a meeting with Gift at 11. And then
and then you're like, hey, send taxi,
things like that. So I'm really trying to be a scheduling person.
Wow.
At 6 o'clock I'll check my notebook on what I'm supposed to do in the morning. Then I plan my day for that. I do a day plan, you know.
Wow.
So my other lack is consistency. Do you know my last video on YouTube was in January?
And you know you have to do another one.
I know.
But you're sleeping at night. Must not sleep, comrade.
Comrade.
I will sleep when I do.
You know what? There's also one other thing that we forget as artists, that you can't bear the fruits of your art immediately, but you still need to eat. And your eating will definitely affect the time that you spend on making or doing your art. You know, so I tend to procrastinate because some days I'm tired. Okay, this day I'm not working, but my house needs to be cleaned. I need to do my laundry. Like, I have a lot to handle, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to Gift, and then we're gonna shoot a video. I have this idea, and then I text you, and then I don't come because I'm tired. I wake up in the morning, I do my laundry, I clean the house, and then I'm tired. I sleep.
Yeah.
Gone. The following day, I have to go to work. You know, so that is part of my thing. But from this month of May, I've promised myself that even if I don't shoot anything, even if I don't do anything, but there should be something on a daily basis that I'm doing that's gonna improve my art, so that when the day comes that I'm going to go shoot, either I have a melody, new lyrics, or maybe I've improved my voice, you know. So I give myself that every day. That's how I'm gonna get out of this inconsistency and not truly taking my craft seriously. And trust me, I read the comments. I know what people are saying about my art.
For real.
So I know what people are saying about me and my music and how lazy I am as an artist, that I don't do much music. All I do is talk, and that's true.
Wow. Yo, you're taking the criticism and like it
that's
empowers
true.
you.
That's true. And every time that happens, I come up with a banger. Remember in
Wow,
January, I was
what?
You know, so I feel like I do take criticism, but I feel like other people are very harsh on how they criticize you, to the point of like, that girl is annoying. Like, no, I'm not annoying. It's just that you don't like my content. You don't like
but
me.
they took time to look at your profile.
And they're always on my tweets. But I'm annoying.
Have you take us back to, being informed and not being informed, to judge, or how you perceive things. If I'm always on Twitter and looking for garbage, I will try and find garbage in everything.
Yeah,
right?
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but there are
Showing
people
everything.
who are trying to get informed, and then try to learn, say, okay, I want to know who's Thembi, right, and engage with you.
I actually usually do, and then now Twitter is very fun because there's Twitter Spaces. You could talk to people directly, one on one, vocally.
Wow.
So I love doing that once in a month, maybe, because I don't really have time. That takes a long time because you can't just respond to like 10 followers. You have to respond to everyone. So I usually do that. People get to know who I am. They get, with tweets, ne? Someone will screenshot a tweet and then create another caption that is totally not what you meant.
For real.
They're changing the whole perspective of the tweet, right? So it happens a lot with MacG. They will take like a small tweet
and always,
around
and what racist,
that's what Twitter does, and they will spin the whole thing. Like the last time, my ex and I have been known to fight in public, and then he doesn't fight me. I'm the one who fights him because I'm still heartbroken. I won't lie about that. So I was joking with him, and then he posted his girlfriend under his tweets, and I got mad, and I was like, but you and I, we the other time in raw, and I can go raw with my ex. I'm undetectable, he's undetectable, so we can have unprotected sex without infecting each other. But people took my profile that says HIV activist, and then there was a picture, a tweet of mine where I was celebrating my 18 years with HIV. And then they're like, okay, so this girl who's an HIV activist is going around infecting other people's men with HIV.
Wow, that's
they don't know me, they don't know the backstory. They just took that screenshot of that. So social media is very powerful. I repeat, very powerful.
So
whether it's negatively powerful or positively powerful, but it's just powerful.
How do you deal with the negativities?
I just log out and then come back to check what are people saying about me, and then I search my name into each and every tweet that's and then if I see account, when I know that I'm really trending, I'm gonna have to get another account because a lot of people block me. And they block me and they talk about me. Whenever there's a topic about me, they're always there.
But you block me like nigga, what?
You don't want. No, that's why I blocked her. But why do you have to tell people that? I mean,
yes. What?
So I use maybe a smaller account. I borrow someone's account, and then I go in and I check what are they saying about me. I take what I feel like it's important. That's where I take even the criticism, where I know that people say a lot about me. They say most people will say, I've been following you for 2 months, but I don't know any of your songs. That means I'm not pushing my music enough. And Omunye will say it in a very harsh way. Omunye will say it in a very nice way. Omunye will eventually even come to my DMs and be like, hi Thembi, how are you? Where can I get hold of your music? Because I see that you're an artist, but I've never seen you posting anything related to music. So I know those we're still on the things that I lack on.
Yeah, we did 2 or 3.
It was 3. I'm still on the second one.
You're on the second one, the last one,
Okay, the last one is, I'm a very emotional being. I'm very, very emotional. I have strong feelings, whether it's a friend, family, relationship, romantically, or otherwise. I'm always I have strong feelings. I'm a lover, and I don't deal well with rejection and betrayal. Betrayal turns me into a monster.
Bipolar?
No, betrayal, not bipolar. Not
crazy bipolar.
No, just
crazy.
Just a little crazy.
Cause crazy.
Maybe.
Serial what? Did you say serial crazy?
No, just a little crazy. Like I said, a little monster. I don't want to be betrayed, and
who's that? No violence.
No, not violence against people. Maybe against objects.
Oh, like you the one who hits the TV, crashes the place,
Yeah.
free G Matanda, Rosary outside.
What else who are emotionally attached to our devices?
You.
Yeah, and I love those ones. If I wanna hurt you, that's why I hurt you the most.
PlayStation,
Okay, guys, I'm not happy about that. But well, Lana, we are talking about how I'm trying to work on those things. So I take very badly to betrayal because I'm this person who, no matter what circumstances, I would never betray someone that I love or someone that loves me, you know. Unless if it's something that I did unaware that I did it, but it's something that I feel like I would never stab you in the back. I would never steal your idea and then run with it. You know, I'm that person. And then if you come at me with that energy, you know, things happen, and I don't want to end up in jail. There's nothing there for me.
Can't control yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I started therapy. Oh yes. I've been reading a lot about how to control your mind, emotional intelligence. You remember I saw that book and I was like, wow, this book is this. So yeah, I'm trying to work on that because I know if I don't work on that, I will never get to where I want to get to because emotions can never be mixed with business. Can never be mixed with your brand. You can't run your brand on emotions. You cannot do that.
Yo,
so.
Taking us to business, I want to ask you this. There's this phenomenal influencer marketing. There's a lot of assumptions that are within that industry. A lot of people think a lot of things that are not true about the influencer industry or influencers per se. What is your perspective of influencer marketing in a way?
Influencer marketing, I think personally, I will say it's the only way brands should go. People skip ads. They skip ads on YouTube. How much more at home? People will be like, okay, when it's ad break, like we've been doing that. No, but if you're watching like a serious story, you're gonna come back, but you won't even see the ads. Ads annoy us. I'm not saying it's bad, but I feel like with influencer marketing, it's in their faces. First things first, when someone wakes up in the morning, the first thing they do is what? Check their phone.
Hey, yes, I put it under the pill.
Yes,
before I even open my eyes.
You see, the first thing I should do, and then you pop up, and then you see, oh, okay, Nano Gift is wearing a new jersey. It's so nice. And then somebody asked him, where did you get it? And he said, I got it from the shop. Okay, Monday I'm gonna go to that shop and buy the jersey because it looks nice. It's gonna look nice with those shoes that I have, you know. So influencer marketing is more personal. I would say it's more relatable. It's more realistic. Also, it could I think it's more fun for the customer or the consumer, by the way, because if an influencer introduces you to something and then you realize that no, this product, they will fetch you, mama.
Forever, right?
Yup, they will fetch you. Hey, I bought this shoe that you recommended. And
so there's also there
now open like
we didn't know.
You know, that gives you as a brand an idea of what your customers are not happy with. You know, probably I posted something about a brand and then they took time to deliver, and then that consumer will come because I influenced them to that, and then you'll be able to, as a brand or as a service provider, you'll be able to realize that, okay, our turnaround time is not enough for our customers, so we should from 10 days and make it like maybe 5 days, you know. So you get a lot of feedback, whether negative. I'm a person who really believes on the negative that will help you grow. Because if people are nice to you all the time, you will never grow. You will never grow. How are you going to grow?
For real.
Because you keep making mistakes and you keep defending yourself on those mistakes, you know. So I think influencer marketing is a more personal approach.
Wow, that's so dope. That was so dope. But there's this thing, influencer marketing consists of people, real people who are influencers, and those people have to start on zero. So what would be your advice to that woman or that lady or that man or that guy who wants to start social media with the mindset of I want to be an influencer?
I'm a strong believer. Not to. I'm a strong believer in look at what those people that are doing that are doing. if you want to be a soccer star, do you look at a rugby star?
Yay.
No.
If you want to be an actor, do you look at a singer? You follow other actors, right? You look at how they do things. You check detail by it. It's easy. It seems like you're stalking them, but you can also even throw in questions. Fortunately, there's Instagram now. Artists or whoever can have a question and answer session on their Instagram, and you get a chance to interact with them. So do that. Ask. I did a lot of asking. I did a lot of asking with everything that I do. I do a lot of asking. If I see you doing the same thing that I want to do, I'll go to. If I see you doing something that will actually benefit us both as artists or as people or as business people, I'll definitely talk to you about it, and we'll try and see how on where that takes us. So it's just a personal approach.
Wow, that's so dope. I think, when I saw that.
No, I just wanted to add. I just want to reflect to what she's saying now, going back in the conversation. We were saying it's important to be grounded as an artist so that you are able to see through the hardships. Because if you're just doing it for wrong reasons, you will quickly burn out and
you'll quit. You'll quit.
But as long as you're grounded, you know what you want, you will see it through, my man.
That's very. I want to ask you the same question. It is the same question, but I want this one a bit brief. Ne? What would you do if you got hacked and you have to start your social media from down?
I wouldn't even worry about that.
Wow.
I wouldn't, honestly, because my followers know me. They know how I tweet. So the moment I'm tweeting something different, they will know.
Word.
The last time I was hacked and someone took my account, I just posted a video of myself, told my followers to. I was fortunate enough to know what they changed into because I was helped by a friend of mine who knows our DMs, and they're like, "Aibu, the name changed. This is the name." So I told my followers, you know what, please report this account, and so it actually happened before, but yeah. Wow. I wouldn't worry, even if I would be suspended, because I'm still shocked. I've never been suspended, actually.
Considering what you're posting.
But I don't post like thing is I don't post like dangerous or blasphemous stuff. It's just that people don't like my opinions. That's it.
Do you not want them to like it? Like, are you on that? Once they like it, they're gonna kill me.
But not really when they talk negatively, but I do use some of that to grow myself. So yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Otherwise, we're going like asking a second last question probably. What is your biggest failure and how are you dealing with it? How did you deal with it? Probably.
First of all, I cut off that word from my vocabulary.
Word.
I lost it a long time ago. I don't fail. I just get another opportunity to try again. So I've done a lot of revamping of myself to actually know what I'm talking about when I say I don't fail.
I love your
I've tried.
Beautiful.
I love the perspective.
A mentor of mine when I was still in theatre, he would say an artist is never late, but an artist is always delayed.
Yes, right? That's true.
Because an artist's life or journey, it has always it has like different peaks, right? You would think because you're creating this or you are in a certain journey, you would think things are getting easier because you're starting to understand, and then things change. As much as your art, you might think you're putting together an album and you have 4 hit songs, and when they come out, they're not 4 hit songs, maybe 2 or 1.
Or 1,
That disappointment is always going to be there, but we shouldn't see it as
failure.
It's
your chance to try again.
Failure exists. Hence being delayed.
You know where I learned that lesson. It was not even in music. When I grew up, I had really terrible handwriting. Very terrible. To the point that teachers would not even see what I wrote. So I constantly had to, so my teacher said to me, you should read before you submit. Make sure you can read what you wrote. So as a kid, I would have a lot of scratches on my papers. I remember we used to have that paper called Jot, the soft one. I killed that one because I write like I press because I have really bad handwriting. So that's where I learned that it's not failure. I will not fail this subject, but I will fix this word that I wrote wrong, and then I'll write it on the side, write the right time, and then you will see when the results come back, it's correct. So I didn't fail. What? Yeah, but I did make a mistake, but I didn't fail. So that's how I deal. That's how I deal with my mistakes. I call them mistakes. I don't call them failures.
Yeah, because failure feels like the end.
Yeah, failure feels like that's it.
Wow. And you don't learn anything from that.
But we also have to remember that even in school, if you fail, you repeat it. You repeat the class. Simple. And if you want to pass it, you'll pass it.
Yeah, it's not like you go back one step because you faced grade 1, now you're going back to grade R.
Yeah.
If you get to retry and be better.
And learn. So failure is all about learning. And the more you learn, the more you become strong. So if you're always succeeding, you don't learn it in a way.
I know the other day I posted a video of me jamming with the guys. You remember when we were jamming? I posted it and people were like, nah. Like, what's going on? They're like, you didn't rehearse. You didn't work on your voice.
Wow.
That is why I started doing the vocal training.
Like, I love your followers, and I love the way you respond to them.
They're very honest with me.
Not anybody could get that. How did you get to that, Joe? Because you're a brand now. It's not like a social account.
My personal approach. I'm very personal about my life. I think my followers know most about. They even know when I'm going to the toilet, you know. Yeah, because maybe I would think about a joke while I'm in the toilet. I'll be like, oh, I'm in the toilet and do something, you know. Or maybe a toilet joke. Because I usually occasionally throw in the occasional joke. Something very relatable and people. So my followers know a lot about me, and I'm grateful for that, to have that kind of relationship with them, because for me it makes it easier for me to put out content, because now I know what they want. I know my followers love my controversial tweets. So once a month,
I know you switch it off. Like I'll
you know, so I know exactly what they like. They love my music. They love my personality in general. One follower of mine even said to me, you know what, Thembi, I think you should have a banner account where you can be our Thembi, the one that we appreciate, and then you have like your Thembisile cute thingy
for like fan page,
you know, so something like a fan page.
Yeah, that would be so dope.
So I had that relationship with them. I lose and gain followers, but I've also got like followers that I know that they've always been there with me on the journey from 2018 until today. Like, I had an account and then I didn't have it anymore. I don't want to incriminate myself on what I did, so.
Wow. And then like this thing
so I started a new account in 2020 and it grew faster than the first one. My account is from 2020. It's not the initial account that I created in 2020.
And I'm like, maybe 1998 when Twitter started.
2020.
For real?
March 2020. And
damn it.
By the time it was December 2020, I was already on like 50,000 followers.
More than the account. Okay, I want to ask this question.
No, you know what's with Twitter? You follow trends. That's what Twitter is about. Following trends. Yes, you go to the trend, see what people are talking about. Find the most active tweet where people are engaging. Throw in your point. You know, just comment. First time it's gonna be 0 likes. Don't get discouraged. But you obviously have to choose like topics that will not get you in trouble. You can't be. As a guy, you can't be in posts where stuff like that, or also maybe defending a predator or something like that. You know, you just filter. Or maybe you can start with in the jokes, like the current joke. Because on Twitter there's gonna be like a joke of the day. You know, maybe you'll be talking about our childhoods. You know, obviously you'll see a tweet that is like viral, like it has the most interactions for that day. You go to that tweet, you interact with people on that tweet. That's how you gain.
Strategy.
Yeah, that's how you gain. Where do you think people get followers? You think
comment section, yo, man.
Comment section.
Comment section.
You just make your sense. You be yourself in a very, very respectful manner. You don't swear at people. You don't, you just become yourself on the comment section. You'll see. Trust me. Do it once and you'll come back and tell me what I'm talking about. So that's how, and also it's important to go into the accounts that are linked to what you want to do per se. Like, let's say maybe you're into podcasts. Follow people that talk about podcasts, right? Go to those tweets and see what are they saying. If they're saying, podcasts are trash, hey, podcasts need this and that, that's where you need to go. Where this podcast did this good, so this is what it's supposed to be. Be there where there's interest in your field, in your industry. If you're an engineer, you follow engineer accounts. If you are a musician, you follow other musicians. If you're an artist, fine arts, you follow other fine artists. And that your two-way experience will be great if you follow people of the same mind. But you'll figure it out if you go through the trends and then you'll see what's active. Because you'll get a viral tweet from someone with 50 followers. But because they wrote something so sensible for that day that goes on with what is trending. It's not about your followers. You can have like 1 million followers and still get like 2 likes.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot. So I want to ask this question before again. This is the second last. This is gonna be the second last.
We an hour 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, we're closing it now, ne? Okay, I wanted to ask this question. We answer it briefly. Quantity or quality in terms of posting?
Quality. You can't just tweet a whole lot of nothing.
You
can't just post a whole lot of nothing. So what you post should really be in line with what you want people to perceive you. Because remember, social media is what you put out there. I chose to put myself out there. I chose to put my personal life out there. You not really have to do that. You can be you with your work, with your values, with your views, as long as they don't affect the other person. You understand? So with that, you just mostly go with the flow.
Okay, can I ask this last question? This has to be the last one. What is your perspective about depression, especially in the art industry?
I think it's expectations mostly. As much as I don't want to downplay people's illnesses, I know that thinking positively cannot change what's happening in your brain. But when it comes to depression, as South Africans or as black people, we tend to take our frustrations and say it's depression. I'm not saying every one of them doesn't really have depression, but expectations can make you feel like you're depressed. And then when you start balling in money, you are okay, you're out there, you're having fun. Yes, depression is that, you have those temporary moments. But a lot of people take sadness and then say it's depression. And I'm not saying depression is not there. I know depression is real. And I think like a lot of people downplay the word depression. You understand? I think we have to redefine it. Because now umuntu uzothi yo uyangidepress and utalk ngokuthi you are frustrating her and then athi uyangidepress. It's just being like thrown around, and then uzozizwa said one day, oh, I'm depressed, but that is not depression. Depression is sort of different, and I feel like a lot of people are going through serious mental illnesses, whether it's depression, bipolar, whatever. But as long as you've never been clinically diagnosed with depression, don't just throw away that word. You can never Google your own symptoms and then diagnose yourself. You can't do that because that's what we do.
Yeah,
one day I thought I had what is this aneurysm, a brain aneurysm, because I was having this bad headache. It's something. It's like a bubble in your veins, and it eventually kills you if it goes through your brain. So I had this terrible headache. I was new to Google, so I Googled the symptoms.
Terrible headache. Oh, it's corona. Fuck.
So it's like that. You can't diagnose yourself. As long as also as artists, we shouldn't have we know as an artist you're supposed to. You see other artists that drive up with McLaren.
Yeah.
You see other artists they're staying in Gauteng, staying in Sandton, and you feel like I'm better than that nigga. But why am I not there? Right? And those things, they're gonna frustrate you, and then you try and work hard, and then you get ripped off.
Hey, it always happens. Okay, we'll address that in the next episode, man.
You get ripped off. You trying so expectations can easily turn into depression, but depression is very serious. If you feel like you think you get symptoms, even public clinics have mental wards or mental departments that you can actually go to and go and find out if you are indeed depressed, or maybe it's just societal pressure or frustrations or something like that. But I feel like people should be formally diagnosed before they say anything about depression, and even so, you just take your meds as prescribed, because I've heard that there's no cure for depression. You just manage it with your treatment and both therapy and medication. So I would advise people to go through that and just make sure they become okay, Yeah, and stop throwing the word depression lightly, guys.
Wow. Whew, we have came to the end of our podcast. Thank you very much if you joined us until the end. Otherwise, this is ABC, where we talk everything art, business, and culture. And today we were sitting with the amazing Thembisile Q. Thank you very much. Yo, I'm gonna thanks, we did it. Kunini di focus in it, dog.